Everybody, welcome to Monday. It's a brand new week. It's the first week in December. I hope you guys are getting excited about Christmas. Yes, there's the tree. The tree is decorated and done. If you watched the sermon yesterday, you saw that. And I hope that you guys are doing well. If you missed the sermon yesterday, go back and listen to it. It's a great beginning to this series, Love is Born. It's kind of a mashup between the Luke 2 story and 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. It's awesome. So go check it out. If you haven't seen it, it's worthy of looking at and sharing with your friends and stuff. Text prayer to that number on the screen because I want to pray for you. That's what we'll be doing all this season, as always, here at Song and Sword. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for the generosity. I wish you guys could have, if you weren't there, seen all the gifts and all the stuff that was donated for this week's distribution for WIT. And if you're interested in helping this Thursday and Friday, setting things up, or Wednesday, moving some stuff out of the storage shed, or Saturday, being a host, go to songandsword.com and let us know. And we're going to talk about gifts. It's Christmas season. Isn't that great? That tree is awesome. It just makes me happy. It makes this place so much more fun to hang out with. But here's the deal. I digress. We're going to talk about gifts. Gifts are a part of Christmas, I suppose. It goes all the way back to the three wise men who technically were after Christmas, but there's no such thing as a too late of a gift. The wise men came and they brought gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, and now we give gifts at Christmas time. It's kind of the tradition. So we're going to look at this week, we're going to look at some gifts and gifting in the Bible. And we're going to start today in Genesis chapter 24. I believe this is the first place in the Bible where a gift has been given or a gift is offered. But Genesis 24 is about Abraham telling his servant to go find his son Isaac a wife. This is the son of promise. And I'm going to pick it up in verse 6. The servant has said, "What if I go and find this woman and she's not willing to come with me?" Abraham says in Genesis 24:6, Abraham said to him, "See to it that you do not take my son back there. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and who spoke to me and swore to me, to your offspring I will give this land, he will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. But if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be free from this oath of mine, only you must not take my son back there." So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning this matter. Then the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, taking all sorts of choice gifts from his master. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, to the city of Nahor. So you might be wondering a few things here. Traditionally, there was something about making a promise, and when we promise, we shake hands on it, or we hold our hand up in the air, or we cross our heart, hope to die, stick a needle in our eye. In the ancient times, it was putting your hand under the thigh of the man that you're making the agreement with. This is very intimate. It's very close. It may be closer than you even want to think. I won't go into the details on this Monday morning. But Abraham was serious. He wanted to have a wife that came from his family. He didn't want Isaac to marry one of the Canaanites, one of the pagan people that were in the land. Not because of their race, but because of their devotion to false gods. And Abraham says, I want you to go back to my land, to my home, and I want you to get somebody from my family, a relative, to be Isaac's wife. So here's what the servant does. He gets 10 camels. You see that? He takes 10 camels and he departs. Now, it's likely a month-long travel to Mesopotamia from southern part of Israel, Beersheba. He's taking 10 camels because he's taking supplies, but he's also, did you see this? He's taking gifts from his master, all sorts of choice gifts. What were they? Well, they were probably something like food. They were probably dates and things that you could only get in that part of the country as a gift. They may have been, if we look at the gifts that the Queen of Sheba brought to Solomon, could be some kind of animals or pets, but more likely it was gold. It had to do with a ring that was placed in the nose, rings for the fingers, all kinds of nice raiments and garments. This guy is going to go and shower this bride-to-be and her family with gifts in hopes that she'll say yes. Kind of like what we do today. We buy a big diamond ring. At least that's what they want you to believe. And you kneel down and say, will you marry me? And the gift is also part of that influence. Hopefully it's more than the gift. But here's what's going on in Abraham's time. If you wanted to have a wife from another family, from another, a dad has a girl and you want to marry your son, you always give a gift. You always give something extravagant so that person will say yes, and it will be worth it. And they marry into the family, and it's a contract. I gave you a bunch of stuff. It's called a dowry. It's called a bridal price. And that bridal price is very important. The more you offer, the more the family is like to say, yes, you may take our daughter. Now, we know that the story ends up, he does find Rebekah. Rebekah answers God's prayer is answered immediately exactly the way this servant prays. And Rebekah and her family say yes to her becoming Isaac's wife. But here's the point I want us to make today, and I want us to think about this in Jesus Christ. What a bridal price he paid for us, the church. The church, we're called the bride of Christ. And Jesus comes into town and he says, I want you as my bride. I want to live close to you. I want to live in communion with you, in covenant with you forever. The bridal price that Jesus brought for us was nothing less than his life. He gave his life so that he could be married to us. Greatest bridal price ever, and we see it first here in Genesis chapter 24. Hope that blesses your day, and I hope you can think about that today. You have been paid a very high price so that Jesus could be with you. God bless you guys. Have a good Monday.